Hey viewers, hey subscribers, welcome back to my channel, Aquarian Empress Tarot. You guys, I promised that I would do girls chat, so here we go. And I don't plan to be on long. Don't plan to be on long at all, but I wanted to hop in and talk a little bit about healing and forgiveness. Hi Riri. Hey. Oh, hey, Ricky. How are you, love? And the reason I wanted to talk about forgiveness briefly is because, like, you know, a lot of people talk about healing and this sort of thing, and they talk about, you know, healing past traumas or childhood traumas or whatever. And I'm good, love. Thank you for asking. Welcome back to the channel, by the way. So a lot of people talk about, you see it a lot on YouTube, a lot of people, like a lot of spiritual gurus and all these people talk about healing and all these different things, but you hear a lot of people saying, oh, well, you should forgive and not hold on to grudges. And for some people it does, Ricky, for some people it does. And I'm not saying that there aren't things, that are forgivable, but what about the things that are not so easy to just forgive? You know, like, you can't just brush that off. A child being molested, a child being kidnapped, somebody being murdered. Those are not things you just write off like, oh, well, you know, that's fine. I know he made a mistake. Whoops, he killed my daughter. Whoops, he kidnapped my son, my 5-year-old. Whoops, like I feel like a lot of times it's like, exactly, Ricky, that's my point. And it's like, I feel personally like forgiveness should be a choice to that individual. It should be a choice, and it shouldn't be something that's pressed upon someone to do it like an overnight thing. I feel like there is actually a process of forgiving, because I feel like, of course, naturally you're going to be pissed at something so horrible happening in your life, and it's going to change your life. But of course you have to have enough self-control and composure to realize what happened. First of all, acknowledging the trauma that happened, dealing with it, seeing it, and saying, you know, how can I move forward from this? How am I going to continue going on? Because like I said, some of the things I mentioned are extremely difficult to the people who've experienced them. If you've ever lost a loved one, you've ever lost a child, you've ever been robbed at gunpoint, you've ever been molested, any of those types of things, they're extremely traumatic. Abused by parents, hit as a child, like, those things are extremely traumatic incidents. And it's not like, well, you know, you should just forgive your parent because that's just how they were. You know, they had a rough life growing up, so, you know, that's what happened. They took it out on their kids. No. Because I feel like by just saying, oh, well, just forgive them, just forgive everyone, that you're basically saying this behavior, it's okay what happened. It's all right. It's okay. No. But like you said, Ricky, forgiving and forget, you can forgive someone and not forget what happened, but I feel like forgiveness is more directed towards accepting the situation, accepting the reality, because some things can't be undone. Like, some of the really shitty things that human beings can do cannot be undone once they are done. So it's like, how do you heal? How do you move forward from certain traumatic events? Now, of course, a lot of people, you know, of course you go to therapy and you get counseling or what have you, grief counseling and things like that. And those are all great, wonderful resources. But at the end of every day, when you go home, you still have to relive that trauma, or certain events throughout the rest of your life happen. You still have to relive that trauma. And when you have a reaction to that trauma, people are going to be like, well, you just got to let it go. That happened 10 years ago, 15, 20, 30 years ago. no. Like, it's a no. It's a no. But I just wanted to see what you guys' thoughts are, because, you know, like, sometimes people, sometimes we do make mistakes as human beings, like little things, and I'm talking about little things, like little mistakes. We may forget to do something. Somebody asks us to do something, we may forget to do it, or pick up something, or make a payment on something, like little things, you know? So that's when you call and you're just like, hey Aisha. You're like, hey, I'm so sorry. I know it was due on the 15th and it's the 18th. So, you know, I'm sorry. I apologize for being late on this. I want to go ahead and make the payment, you know? But guess what? You calling and saying I'm sorry doesn't negate the fact that you were late, one. Number two, they may charge you a late fee because of the inconvenience. Do you see how I'm saying forgiveness really is like, you should just accept my mistake? You know what I mean? Hey, Sarah Love. It's almost like you should just accept my mistake. But really, really, no. Because you have to understand that you can't repeat. We're going to quit. Thank you, love. How are you? You can't repeat the same patterns of behavior and keep getting away with it. Because it's like, how many times can a person say, oh, I'm sorry, I'm going to do better, before they actually do better, you know? How many times are you going to let that person slide with whatever they're doing before that person is held accountable for their actions, before you call them out on their shit? Yes, go home and get some rest, love. Thank you, Aisha. Yeah, if you're joining the live stream, please give it a thumbs up. I will be back doing Girls Chat weekly every Thursday. That's the plan, unless something changes. Because I had a lot of good feedback from it. But it just makes me think about a part of each individual person's healing journey. You know, and I know it's not good for the body. Hey, Javonda. Hey, Em. I know it's not good for the body to hold grudges and to hold resentment, but those feelings are going to arise if you've been hurt or traumatized in some type of way, or experienced some type of trauma. Those are natural. It's a natural part of life to have emotions. It's a natural part of life to feel upset, to be angry, to be aggravated, to be pissed off, to be hurt. You know, those are all normal parts of life. To be bitter, to hold resentment towards someone. You have every right to have those feelings. Now, how you act on those feelings, that's up to you. That's a personal decision. That's a personal choice. But who am I to tell you, oh, well, you know, Javonda, you shouldn't be angry that this person just stole $500 from you. You have every right to be angry. Or, you know, really, you should just forgive them. Don't try to go get your money back. Just forgive them and let them go. No, ma'am. No. If you choose to forgive them, that's great. It may give you peace of mind, but I don't feel like forgiveness should be something that's pushed on people. And I feel like a lot of that programming comes from religious backgrounds, because they teach that concept in church that, well, you know, somebody sinned against you, you know, forgive them 70 times 7. Keep being walked all over is what that says to me. Keep being walked all over. You know, you'll hear people quoting scripture like, well, forgive him for he know not what he does. He knows damn well what he did when he picked up that child and kidnapped that child that wasn't his. Was he unaware that he didn't have children? I mean, the justification for foolery, to me, it just blows my mind, because it's like, I feel like, I don't know what y'all think, but please join in the live stream. Leave a comment. Let me know. You're good, Em. Yeah, let me know how you feel about the topic, because the way I feel about forgiveness is that's a personal choice. That's up to me. Now, me personally, I don't like holding grudges against folks. But like Ricky said, I will not forget what happened, because I pay attention to people's patterns of behavior. You know that saying, fool me once, that's on me, but fool me twice, you know what I mean? It's like you're not gonna keep repeating the same offenses and thinking I'm just gonna let it slide. I'm just gonna let it. I ain't gonna say nothing. I'm gonna just keep letting you. It's like working for a company that's supposed to pay you. You clock in every day from 8 to 5, and the first time you don't get a check, you're like, okay, I'm gonna say something to HR. I might say something to the manager. I might say something to payroll or whatever. You don't get a check. You're like, okay, I'm gonna let this slide. It's the first time it happens. It happens again. The next pay period, you don't get another check. How long are you gonna keep forgiving this company for their mistakes before you decide I'm out of here? I'm not dealing with this. Y'all see where I'm going with this? Like how much should you forgive people? How long should you forgive people? And why is it necessary? So you just accept it? Like, well, just, they make mistakes. They're. Because I feel like sometimes we excuse bad, toxic, negative, whatever word you want to use, behavior because it makes somebody else feel better. Exactly, Javonta. I don't even know what prompted me to have this discussion. Oh, I had seen a post on Instagram where somebody was like, should and they posed the question. They were like, should forgiveness be something that is for some people? Forgiveness should be a choice. And I absolutely understood that. It hit home with me because I was like, growing up as a child, you have siblings, and siblings do stupid things, and they take stuff and they tear up stuff, and oh, forgive your sister, and they'll be like, tell your sister I'm sorry, tell your brother I'm sorry, and he'll say I'm sorry, but he ain't sorry. He gonna go right back in there and start tearing up my stuff. And I was supposed to just let it happen. Like, he didn't mean to do it. He's little. He doesn't know any better. Okay, well, teach him better. Teach him that it's not his. Teach him he doesn't have the right to come here and tear up my stuff. Like, how long do you excuse behavior that is less than acceptable? That's disrespectful. Well, you gotta, he's just like that. No, it's no different to me than saying, well, he's always been that way. Like, we're supposed to just be okay with that. Like, well, hey, Diana. Exactly, Aisha. Exactly. It's like, at what point do you put your foot down and say enough is enough? This is not acceptable, and I'm not okay with it. I am not okay with it. I'm not excusing it. I'm not condoning it. It needs to be stopped. And the thing about karma is that karma is real. Whether it's an act of kindness, of love, of giving, or it's an immoral act towards someone, what goes around comes right back around. People get upset with other people for, seeking vengeance or lashing out towards someone else that has wronged them because they want an immediate reaction. And that's just impulse. That's all that is. That's just impulse. But trust and believe, whatever you put out into the universe is going to come back to you in some shape, form, or fashion. Even though you say you're sorry for something, it doesn't undo the damage. And that's my point with forgiveness. Like I said, let's say you go get your hair done by someone, right? And you pay your money. Exactly, exactly. Good or bad, the karma is coming. Let's say you pay your money to go to a hairdresser, that is pretty reputable in your city or state or country, wherever you live. This person is a licensed cosmetologist or whatever the case may be. And this person, let's say you're getting a perm or something. This person burns your scalp and damages your hair. Are you just going to be like, oh, well, that was a mistake. I know that I've lost half my scalp, but it's cool. It's all right. It's all right. You're not going back to that stylist. I know I wouldn't go back to that stylist. Exactly, Aisha. It is to let them know how you feel, because it's almost like when people have lost family at the hands of someone else, and they actually are in the courtroom with the person who's done it, and those people give statements about how much their loved ones meant to them. And sometimes they'll give a statement to the person who's being tried or what have you, sentenced. Like, listen, y'all, I watch court TV. But sometimes they'll be like, you piece of shit, I hate you and I hope you rot in hell. That person genuinely means everything that they said. And I don't feel that they are wrong for it. I don't feel they're wrong for it at all. Because how dare you come in and disrupt my life, disrupt my loved one's life, and take that from them? Who gives you authority to take someone's life from them? Just snatch it away. Like, and it's such a here in the physical world, it's such a permanent thing, because once you're gone, you're not in this body no more. The body is gone. It's useless. It's rendered useless. So it's like people will give a statement in court and let them know, like, I hope you get the death penalty. I hope you rot in jail. I hope you die. Like, it's that serious to them, because just saying, oh, well, you know, he was on drugs when that happened. Just like, you know, like drunk drivers, they're under the influence. Sure, if they were not drinking, they wouldn't have hit and killed someone. But they were under the influence, and lives were taken. Can't undo something like that. And the family has every right to sue. The family has every right to be angry. The family has every right to feel how they feel. And so you mean to tell me that they should just, well, forgive him because, you know, he struggled his whole life. Here comes the defense. Here comes the defense attorneys. Well, you know, he had a bad childhood and, you know, he went through a lot. I don't care. He killed my mom, my sister, my brother because he was drunk driving. I don't care about his childhood. I don't care what he went through. I don't care. That has nothing to do with me or the people that he took away from my family. So it's like, how do you know, tell somebody, well, you just got to accept that? It's like, well, you just got to accept it. You got to just accept what happened. Well, yeah, because I don't have a choice. Or, well, and then he gets up there and he's like, well, you know, I'm sorry for what happened. I just had a rough childhood and I've been through so much stuff. Like, I hear you, but that's not going to fix it. Exactly, Aisha, that's what I'm saying. Him getting up and saying he's sorry. How? Because here's my thing. When you picked up the bottle and you knew you were drunk, you had a choice. And this is why I say life comes down to choices. So we're segueing from forgiveness to choices. Exactly, Diana. Exactly, that's my point. Forgiveness to me is like enabling bad behavior, because it's like, well, you know, he didn't really mean to do that. Yes, he did. He was fully competent, which is why so many people get off for reason of insanity. They're pardoned because, well, he's not mentally competent, but he knew how to go down to the department store, purchase duct tape, trash bags, a shovel, and a bucket. What did y'all think was gonna happen? And he went and got rifles. Was he incompetent then? Was he insane then? And he hit the body. Was he insane then? Like you said, Diana, it's an excuse. Was he, you know what I mean? Like, it's an excuse. Hey, Queen. And most people, believe it or not, don't want excuses. We don't care. We don't want excuses. We want results. So it's like to tell somebody, well, you know, you should just forgive him because, he's just like that and he's had a hard time his whole life. I don't care about his backstory. I do not care. I want y'all to try him as an adult. Well, he's only 17. Hey, Valerie. He's only 17, but he murdered his entire family. Well, you know, he wasn't well. He wasn't well. Okay, but he was well when he went in there and picked up the damn axe. He was well then. You see what I'm saying? He knew exactly what he was doing. He's 17, so he has a little bit of, he knows a little bit of what he's doing. Now, granted, there are situations where there are people who are severely mentally ill, but even then, those people shouldn't be, they should be supervised. They should be supervised so they don't do things like that. And somebody should take responsibility for that. Well, you know, he's mental. Okay, so why is he out on the loose? If you know he's mental, why is he out loose? Why is he not somewhere being supervised? Why is somebody not making sure that he's taking his medication? Why is someone not responsible for him? Do you see what I'm saying? It's like enabling bad choices, because everything's a choice. The person, the sex offender, he chose to molest that little boy. That was a choice. He picked him out. He probably followed him home from school. He picked him up and he took him. That was a choice. So when he gets in court and says, you know, right, Diana, when he gets in court, it's like, well, you know, I'm sorry. You're not sorry. You're not sorry. And I can't really take you seriously because you knew exactly what you were doing. You knew what you were doing. And the people that say they were on drugs when they did some of the things they did. It was a choice to take the drugs. It was a choice to take the drugs. It was a choice to be around the people you chose to be around. Well, I didn't do it. They spiked my drink. You chose to be around that group of people. You knew what that group of people was about. You decided to go there. I'm telling y'all, choices. Choices. So now you want me to forgive you for a piss poor decision that you decided to make that's now affected my life forever. For the rest of my life. I have to live with that trauma. Just saying, y'all. Just saying. Rico, you're doing too much. But I just wanted to hear y'all's thoughts. What are your opinions? Does I'm sorry just magically fix things? You know, you have people who are even you're right, Diana. I don't know why, but tonight I'm just extremely communicative. But you have people who are in horrible relationships. The person is just a shitty person. They're a shitty partner. They shouldn't even be with people. They shouldn't even be in relationships. They shouldn't be dating people. So the person, exactly, Aisha. So the person that's on the receiving end of the abuse, whether it's emotional, verbal, whatever the case is, you know, it's like, well, you know, I don't know. Let's just use something small, for example. The person is always working. They never have time for you, right? They're always making excuses why they don't have time or they don't spend time together. So let's say you say, you know what? I'm done with this relationship. I'm leaving. I am no longer staying in this relationship. I'm out of here. Then the person, well, don't leave, baby, don't leave. You know, I'm trying. How? I'm not appreciated. There's no quality time. All you do is work. Well, I gotta work to make the money. Okay, great. Then keep working. Bye. Keep doing that. But if you want to be in a relationship, that's what you signed up for. You chose this. You chose this life. Like they say with the thug life. You chose this life. You chose to be in a relationship. You chose to be in a marriage. Whatever the case may be. So you coming and telling me I'm sorry doesn't just magically fix things and we're back on track now. Let's say you got into a heated argument with the person and they cussed you out from Timbuktu all the way back to the United States. They really said some hurtful stuff that hit below the belt. Them just saying, I'm sorry, does that fix it? Are you okay with that? Like, that's my question tonight. Does it fix it? And why? Why or why not? Does I'm sorry fix it? Does forgiving them fix it? Like, well, you know, I forgave them, so that's the end of that. Does that solve the problem? Because, you know, human beings are creatures of habit. We have patterns of behavior. So more than likely, we're going to be consistent in the things that we've created patterns of doing in our life. Case in point, my bunny. I get up in the morning, I come into his room, I open the door, and I let him out so he can go potty. I let him out. We do this every morning. Now, and granted, it's not always at the same time, but it's the pattern nonetheless. That's the point. So does I'm sorry magically fix things and make it all better now, and we can just be happily ever after because they said they're sorry and you forgive them? I just want to know what y'all's thoughts are, because I feel like saying, oh well, you should just forgive them, it's like enabling the behavior a lot of the time. Now I feel like what should be said is release the resentment. Don't hold on to the resentment. Don't hold on to the grudge, because the grudge, holding on to a grudge, like it's literally physically not good. It's just like stress on the body. It's not good for you. But when you think about the trauma you experience, it's okay to feel hurt. It's okay to feel sad, because that was a sad moment in your life. It was a hurtful moment in your life. It's okay to feel that. Rico, move yourself. Move yourself. Move. God, Rico was trying to bite my shoes. But I just wanted to see what y'all's opinions are, because me personally, do I forgive people? Absolutely. For little things. Things that don't really matter. Like, honestly, when you think about it, somebody didn't put the toilet seat lid down. Okay, I'll just go and do it. That's not a big deal. Somebody didn't wash the dishes. Okay, not a big deal. I can do that. They forgot, or they didn't throw something away. They left something out open. It's bad. I'll just throw it in the trash. We'll get another one. No big deal, right? Those are little things. But more traumatic things, more traumatic things, it's like, no. Sir, we've been going through this circus for 5 years, 7 years, 10 years. And you keep saying, I'm sorry. Like it's going to magically erase all of the hell that you've caused. All of the horrible emotions that are evoked every time you do a particular thing. So no, I'm not forgiving you. And no, we're not getting back together. Just want to hear y'all's thoughts. What do y'all think about all this? And then I was having a conversation about choices earlier today, because we were talking about how people, how people don't take accountability for their actions and they love to blame other people. That's a great way to put it, Em. And see, that's why I love chats like this, because I really love to get feedback from other people. And sometimes it helps me to look at things from a different angle. Like, I never thought about that way. So for you, forgiving your ex for all the abuse was a way of releasing the emotional attachment to the situation and to him. So if you were to see your ex now, would you still feel the same feeling? Like would you like you would no longer have any type of resentment towards him because of the fact that you forgave, and forgiving allowed you to like free yourself from the emotional attachment? That's a good way to look at it. That is a good way to look at it. And I can see that concept in it. Like, forgiveness does free you from holding on to things, emotions that will weigh you down. But it's like I was explaining earlier, You know how we talk about things that trigger you, right? Let's say you see a picture of the person that hurt you in some really, really bad way, and every time you see that person, you associate it with that pain. You know what I mean? But when you forgive the person, from what you're explaining in, when you forgive the person, you don't have those feelings anymore because you just kind of release the whole situation. Is that what you mean? So you're not triggered by the person. Yeah, that's the question. You're no longer triggered by that person because, like you said, you made peace with it, and it's no longer an issue for you. Ricky. Okay, great. So she said yes, and it took work. That makes perfect sense. Like I was saying, yes, I feel like we should forgive people, but just like with healing, because no two people heal at the same pace, right? Because we're all different. All of our experiences in life are different. Great. And how did that work for you, Valerie? Like, was it a process to forgive him, or was it just like all of a sudden, you know what? I let it go. I no longer have any feelings about what happened. I'm just gonna move on with my life and not worry about this man because we're done. Like, what was your process of forgiveness? Like, please do share. We go. Freaky. Freaky, you're so fluffy. It was a process. Okay, so it looks like everybody said it was a process. Okay. Because, see, I'm glad we had this discussion because, like, the way people make it sound like, you know, like growing up in church and stuff like that, people make it sound like you just gotta forgive them. You just gotta forgive them, like, now. Oh, wow, yeah. It takes time. It takes time, yeah. To get to that point where you're just like, you know what? So, like, how do you feel now about it? Like, about the situation? Like, you just don't have any feelings towards it? Uh-huh. And so that process made it easier for you, Em, to try to make sense of why the person behaved the way that they did. Y'all, I apologize. I think I got bunny hair in my eye. Rico. Okay. That makes sense though, because sometimes you can understand. I would probably be that. You're fine, Queen. I feel like I would be that way too. Like, well, I am that way. Sometimes, like, trying to make sense of what happened. Like, okay, so and so was like this because of her childhood. She treats me like this because she hasn't healed, and this is why she lashes out in certain ways or tries to control everyone and everything all the time because she's not happy with herself. Mm-hmm. Rico, your teeth. Your teeth, sir. Come here. Right, it could give you anxiety. Yeah, overthinking a situation, like trying to figure out, understand where somebody else's brain activity came from. It's like, ooh, it's too much. But I get it though. Like trying to make sense of the situation. I see where you're coming from because it's almost like when you can try to rationalize it or make sense of the situation, then you can kind of like let go of it easier. Like, okay, well, this is why this person acts the way that they act because whatever goes on. Mm-hmm. That makes sense. But what I find really interesting is the fact that most of everybody in here, if you're in the live chat, let us know. Have you ever forgiven someone for something that they've done to you? Anything. And how long did it take you to forgive this person? Or was it an instantaneous thing, or was it a process for you? Exactly. And it's like, yeah, it's like a puzzle. Trying to figure out, okay, well, this is why they're like this. I have too. I've also been in those shoes, like forgiving an ex for just really crappy behavior. And the forgiveness was more like blocking. I just cut off contact with the person. Like, I don't, and the thing about it is, I mean, I guess you could call it forgiveness because the person was just crappy. They were just crappy, y'all. And, well, remember I told y'all the story about the person that I was with at the time. This was some years back. And my place had caught on fire and I was dealing with that situation. And the person showed no empathy at all, didn't give two fucks about it, and was just really concerned about themselves. And that was really my aha moment. I mean, this person had a pattern. Let's get it straight. This person had a pattern of being very inconsistent, very wishy-washy, in and out. Sometimes I would hear from him every like 3 months. Say hey, Rico, because you have too much energy currently. Him, get your life together. He's over here panting like a puppy. But he's got too much energy, so I had to pick him up. But yeah, he was just really crappy. And so one day, say hey to everybody. Say hey, everybody. Hey. See, I'm supposed to be in the bed, but I'm not. And one day I was like, I'm not dealing with this. So I just blocked the person. I just completely blocked the person, deleted the person, deleted everything that reminded me of the person. And I don't really know if you can call that forgiveness, but now even still, like in conversation, I don't feel no ways. I don't feel no ways. Like, I hope he's okay. Whatever he's doing. I mean, I could care less about what he's doing, but I just let it go. I blocked him, I swear. I blocked him and I never looked back, and I have no regrets. I've been so happy, so much happier without that person in my life. Like, I swear he had a demon attached to him. I swear he had a demon attached to him. Like, he was just one of those people that you can look in the eye and you could just tell there was no soul. There was no life there. Diana says, still going, still a process. And you know what? That is okay. I want y'all to know that it is okay. Like, if you haven't fully forgiven someone, because I feel like y'all said, it takes time. It's a process. It's okay. I feel like step one is accepting what happened. And sometimes you may still be in the acceptance stage for some years. And that's okay. That's why I don't think that healing is an overnight process. And sometimes it can take an entire lifetime, because you're human and you're always going to have those feelings, you know? You're always going to have those emotions, and don't let anybody make you feel bad for having those feelings, because you're human and that's part of being human. Right, Reed? Well, you don't know, but that's part of having life in a physical body, right? We got feelings. Hey, Aquarian. Hey, love. We're doing girls chat and we're talking about forgiveness tonight. Like, have you ever forgiven somebody? Because everybody's been sharing. Like, have you ever forgiven somebody for something terrible? Or are you still in the process? If you have, did it take you a long time or was it immediate? I was just sharing with everybody that I had that experience before. Oh yeah, it is worse. It is worse. It's like that with my father. Like, because he's deceased, I didn't have a chance to talk to him about not being involved in my life. Um, which this month I think it's been like 13, 14 years he's been gone. But it's like, you can't, some stuff you can't undo. You know what I mean? I'm a grown woman now. I'm in my 30s. So he wasn't involved, and it's like, people will be like, oh, well, you should just forgive him. But I don't. We never had that conversation. We never had that conversation. And if I ever had that conversation with him, that would be my question. Why were you not present? How is it that you have 5 children and you weren't present? I'm the oldest of 5. Let's talk about it. Like, I'm not going to just be like, oh, well, I'm okay. No, I'm not okay with it. I'm not at all. Do I accept the situation now that I'm older? Sure. Do I understand why? Sure. Do I accept it? No. I mean, do I forgive it? No. I don't forgive it. So that's why we're talking about it, because me personally, I feel like just telling people to just forgive people is like telling somebody to just get over it. Oh, you should just get over it. We know that this happened to you or that happened, but you should just get over it. Some stuff you can't just get over. Like everybody, just about everybody in the stream is like, it was a process. Their forgiveness was a process. It's not an overnight thing. So, yeah. But we were also talking about choices too. Like, people a lot of times enable bad behavior. And it's like, well, they're just like that. They want you to just forgive the person for being how they are and who they are. But the thing is, people choose that way. Yeah. Yeah. I hear that too, that forgiveness is for you. It's for you. And I guess that's what that means. Like, by you holding on to the resentment and the bitterness, it can take a toll on your health because it stresses the body, which I totally get. But it's like, you know what I mean, Aquarian? It's like some stuff, like you don't want to, you can't get it out of your mind. Like, some people have seen some horrible things happen right in front of their eyes. And it's like, how do they move on from that? You know what I mean? It's traumatic. And they're supposed to just let it go. Like nothing happened. And then there are some people who are liars, and they'll be like, oh, I'm sorry, but they're really not sorry because they keep doing the same things over and over again. Right, Ricky? Right. That is very true. That is very true. Just because you forgive them doesn't mean you have to have anything to do with them. That is true. I agree. Y'all have made a lot of good points. And I appreciate everybody's feedback because it's really helpful. It is. Because I don't know why I was thinking about forgiveness, but it's like I feel like we all have had experiences with people that have been horrible, but we learn to let it go and release it and move forward in life. Oh, wow, Aisha. You should go, though. I mean, if you feel that that's what you want to do, I highly recommend therapy. Let me tell you, I highly recommend therapy because my therapist, she is wonderful, and it can help you in a lot of ways. So do what's best for you. Sometimes people are not going to be supportive of the choices and decisions that you make because they're not living your life. They're not in your shoes, so they don't know, like you said, all of the things that you've experienced and how it's made you feel. Rick, you are not a baby. So you just got to do what's best for you. But thank y'all for hopping in. That was our chat for tonight. But listen. I have more readings coming up this weekend. I'll be posting more Sagittarius. Y'all's are coming. Forgot to do it the other day, so my apologies to my Sagittarians, Earth signs. Right, Earth signs and water signs. Y'all are coming up too. So, thank y'all so much for all the love and support, for hopping into the live stream. And I will, hopefully, we'll be live again. I can't say Mondays are busy, y'all. I usually go live Wednesdays. I can't speak. Wednesdays and Thursdays, but I'm gonna try to do Monday. We'll see how that goes. All right. So much love to y'all. And good night.